Yeah. So, we were talking about self just now, right? Or should we clap? No?
Okay.
Alright. We're back. So, we were talking about self. What I think self was. Okay.
Yes.
Self has a lot to do with a lot of things. It's like internal dialogue mixed with reason, mixed with, anticipation and anxiety. Just think about lots of shit, predicting the future, a lot of shit. It's going off of what you know. That's a lot of stuff. Going based off of what you know beforehand. You're analyzing a lot of shit already. So, but who is listening to all that, right?
Right.
What is this going on right now? I think myself I'm still relating to my name is still John. I think John the self is like, okay, so there's John, and then I guess the self is beyond John. It's like the observer of John, because John is the body. John is the fucking, not the puppet, but just the avatar, and the self. It doesn't have a name because it's
a function.
It's a function, exactly,
Yes.
but it's
That's
just
why
like,
it doesn't have a name, because it's a thing that's happening.
but everybody has it. That's why it's like it can't be a thing. It's unique, yes, but it's like when you take a step back and realize that every single one of us has it, is capable of it, but we all think we're our own separate thing, and it's just kind of crazy because we're all the same motherfucking thing.
We all have the same function, which is the self.
Yes.
We all have that self function,
Yeah,
but we have different structures, which is what he talks about. We have
This is also true.
we have the structure of the self, and we have the function of the self. The function is the thing that we are as the tool of the self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I remember that part.
Yeah, so we're basically that tool of the self is the one that we get to function through. So sometimes, like when you can think of memories, you can only think of your memories because you only have access to that.
Exactly.
So
because that self is yourself, and based off of your experience, that's all you have to go.
It's in your body, you know. So everybody else has their own different structures, but the function of the self is still
the same.
The same, yeah. But we all have different experiences because there's levels to that as well,
Which is crazy if you really think about that.
Yeah. So the self is it's hard to describe,
A little bit.
but you can split it into those two: the structure of the self and the function of the self. And the structure will be like your habits, like the way you react. Like for one easy example is like when I tell you think of a fruit that's red. And you think of a fruit that's red, which is
strawberry.
That's red. See? And then if you ask somebody else, maybe they thought of something else.
An apple.
But because you're John, you thought of strawberry.
Yeah.
So your structure, kind of this, your self function goes into your structure, sees the strawberry first as a red fruit.
Yeah.
Which is just the conscious going into the subconscious and trying to get an answer.
Yeah.
So
this is all very familiar sounding.
But the structure is just the subconscious.
Yes.
And you know what that is.
Of course.
What is that?
The subconscious?
Yes.
The conscious below the okay, so breathing is subconscious, right? It's the mechanisms that happen without conscious thought. It's like it goes on without you fucking needing it to. Well, you can control it. It goes on by itself. It's like if you leave it alone, that shit's gonna be good for you by itself.
And then there's the conscious, which is just everything that you get to have access to directly as the self.
Moving your hands. That's a conscious decision. A conscious decision to kick somebody in the nuts.
Yes, yeah, all that's conscious.
Exactly. Subconscious breathing. Isn't fucking memories are subconscious, right? Because they're within reach, but they're not active right then and there because something needs to be triggered. But they're there, but it's not like you're not recalling every single memory every part of the day. That's just something that you could be reminded of something. A smell could remind you of something, or something from a movie.
Right. That example right there. Like, let's say you think of a movie.
Yeah.
And then you get reminded of the time you saw that movie.
When you were younger, exactly.
Yes, but you know how you didn't have to think of having to do any of this? You kind of just did it.
Yeah.
That's the subconscious.
Yeah, like breathing.
It's like breathing, yeah. Just like right now we're talking, but our words are just coming out. We're not telling ourselves what word do we use for the next word that we're trying to mean to tell
that's
you.
subconsciously
That's
speaking,
it's
holding a
legit.
conversation.
You're like just reaching your subconscious. This is the right word every time. It's because you already practiced. Your conscious going into your subconscious.
Yeah.
To be able to speak the word to you.
That's crazy. That's
And-
such a given that you don't really think about it. Break that down. Me
Yeah,
too.
I was like, that's a little.
Take a moment, break
so
that down.
tricky.
You know, because you're reaching into your subconscious for a vocabulary of words that you already know to speak. Because he's right, you're not thinking of each and every single word every time. You're just speaking, which is crazy.
And you can learn that in many ways. So like you can learn it like in the piano. Eventually, you don't even have to think of this is A, this is B, this is C. You just know it, and now you just play. Right. Just like right now, we're just using the words. You can eventually just play the piano. It just plays. I feel and that's with everything basically, like cooking. Eventually, you don't have to worry about how to cut anything. You just know how to cut it. Yeah. So you cut it.
Cut that bitch.
Shit like that. So you can move stuff consciously into your subconscious. Yes. And your conscious is always on the lookout for the subconscious.
How so?
Because that's where you live in it, basically.
You live in the subconscious?
Yeah. You know?
Okay.
The subconscious is what you have. And then, but the conscious, like the actual conscious.
Yeah, fully consciousness.
Yeah.
Is what you're experiencing at all times.
That's the thing that gets to use the subconscious. Oh, okay. You know? So, like, for example.
That's interesting.
It's like being in in a room, like right now. Yeah. And then everything around you is your subconscious. But you as the self, you have the conscious to pick, like, oh, I have like jackets, shirts. There's a guitar. I could play a guitar if I wanted to. There's a piano, you know. I have mics. I could use the mics for something. Mm-hmm. Computer. This is the things that I have access to. So in a way, this is my subconscious, you know. But then I get to choose what to do, you know. And
that's a conscious decision.
Yes.
That's fully conscious.
It can be. Sometimes it's not because you're just running on auto.
Oh, okay. Well, that depends.
Yeah. Okay. But you have the ability to do things consciously, right? To reach into your subconscious. To see what's there, right? You know, but you can't. It's not easy all the time. No, but it can be.
Based off habits and shit too, right?
Habits are subconscious, yeah. Sometimes you have the habit is so good that you just avoid things that you probably shouldn't avoid. You know, you are in the habit of not doing something in particular. You know, so that habit is so strong that. You don't even think it's a habit. It's like a part of you. Yeah.
Well, think a routine? You think that's a habit?
Routines
or waking up early. Let's say waking up early is a good habit. That's a good habit, though. Technically. That's a good habit to have.
It could be a good habit.
Waking up early?
Yeah.
It's generally a good habit.
Generally, sure, yeah.
Yeah, for longevity reasons and, you know, getting a good start today. But anyway, habits. Bad habits. Bad habits like smoking. Or
right, like smoking.
Or, you know, cheating. That's a bad habit. Infidelity is a bad habit.
Like those compulsive liars?
Yeah, or lying. That's another bad habit. Definitely lying, bro. Hey, speaking from that, bro. It's a form of liar, bro. Lying. It's for real. Call me on my shit. Keep me truthful, bro. That's fucked.
That's funny. But and all that stuff is also the stuff that he talks about, those defense mechanisms.
Yeah, lying's a good defense mechanism. Yeah. Oh, for sure. A good thing to get. It's a good thing to get over that. But anyway. That's crazy. Yeah. But interesting.
Yeah, it's a defense mechanism right there.
Puppies and shit. What? I was just remembering how he was talking about Dr. Paul Conti, and then they were talking about puppies and how having a dog kind of like incites the human kind of like, you know, it just makes them happier.
Right, yeah.
They're able to anticipate it because
they're always happy.
Yeah, and it's just like they're so easy to read. Yeah, you can read them too. It's like you give him food, take him for a walk, he's generally happy, right? So.
Yeah, like right here, he has the structure of the self.
I can't see that. What does it say?
I got you. The structure of the self, which it has inside of it, it's the actual self, this character structure, defense mechanisms, the conscious mind, and the unconscious mind. And then the function of the self is strivings, like hopefulness. Like when you strive to do something.
Like when we all want to be rich. Everybody who, agrees, they all want to be rich. They all strive for something greater.
Yeah, like that
Usually,
feeling of striving for something. That's what he's talking about. And then behavior. That's the function of self.
Yeah, try to teach your kids good behavior. That's all I'll say.
And he's basically talking about like verbs now. So he's basically the function of self are verbs,
Okay.
So it's stuff that's you're doing, And then salience, internal and external. What is salience?
Salience. No idea.
God damn it.
Damn it. Salience.
Look it up, John. Look it up.
Salience. Let's do it. I'm pretty sure when we figure it out, we're going to be like, oh yeah, I fucking knew that. We just brushed it off because we did. Salience definition. The quality of being particularly noticeable or important. Prominence. The political salience of religion has a considerable impact.
Huh. I still don't get it.
Okay, so the quality of being particularly noticeable. Salience, so things that are like flashy, I guess, gaudy, like things that capture attention.
Oh, okay. So the ability to notice things.
Yeah.
Basically. Cool.
The quality of being particularly noticeable. So things are like, it could be not noticeable, it could be very noticeable.
Yeah, because it says internal and external. Yeah. So noticing the stuff within you and noticing stuff outside of you. Like behavior of other people.
Okay.
Like their actual
self-reflection and then self-evaluation versus judgment.
Yeah.
Boom.
So salience is that, and then defense mechanisms in action.
Lying.
Yeah, which is like lying or isolation.
Yeah.
Or like just bad habits that you tend to do because you're avoiding stuff. Yeah. And then self-awareness, the I. The thing that's noticing.
I think, I see, I feel.
The noticer.
I know.
The noticer.
I observe.
The noticer.
I happen to have noticed.
All right.
This is amazing, by the way.
So it's basically that, and then from there it moves from the structure self and the functional self to empowerment and humility.
So we have to master all of those things. And analyze all of those things first, and then we move on.
You have to understand it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then move on up to
empowerment and humility. Yes, sir.
Man.
All right.
Okay, so why? Quick question: why is it so hard to be humble nowadays? Why is it so hard to be humble?
Why is it so hard to be humble? Because most people don't want to know that they suck.
Because most people, that's horrible to say. Yeah, most people do suck, but that's fucked up for me to say. It's true, but it sucks.
Or like, let's say not suck, but most people don't think that they're average.
Yeah.
But the fact is that most people are average. This is literally what that means.
Yeah.
It
all depends. It all depends.
So humility comes from the aspect that you want to be special, maybe.
Yeah.
But you're not.
You think you're special, but you're really not.
Yeah, but that's why it's hard for some people to do it. But the fact that of humility, it comes from the aspect that
you're not a thing, yeah.
You're not just like you're not that special, but that doesn't mean that
you don't have gifts.
There's no importance in who you are, So it's like you didn't.
No, that's dope.
You didn't give birth to yourself, so therefore, you don't have the old powerful like I'm the shit, I'm the one, dude.
You should. Everybody should have that fucking attitude. Well, to a certain degree.
Because like nobody chooses to be born in a way.
Right.
But you get to be. So in a way, you should be humble in that situation.
Yeah.
I got to live.
I didn't ask to be here, but I get to be here.
So that's in that aspect. There's aspects you gotta choose to see the ability to be humble.
Yeah. It's all about perspective, right?
Right, exactly. Like when there's people dying of thirst out there.
Yeah.
But you can go to anywhere in any house, bro. They'll give you water.
Yeah.
Like legit, it's kind of crazy. So then that humility is easy to come by.
Yeah.
But when you're like, when it comes hard like that, when you're in that aspect where you don't want to admit that you're more than likely average.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to admit that.
You know
I'm hella average in hella places, but
right.
But to be called average in my craft, now that would probably bruise my ego.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course, and that's why some people don't even want to admit it.
Yeah.
That's why they have a hard time.
But
that would be my guess.
Yeah.
I'm like, that sounds reasonable.
That's horrible though, because you can get over it because you still, you
Yes.
still have much to learn. I don't know everything. Just because I'm at the top of a mountain per se doesn't mean that there can't be a higher mountain later on in the future, or
Right.
I still can't learn new things. So I mean,
There's like copes, like you know how people are like coping with shit.
yeah,
Not in like a bad way, but in the
coping
way that
mechanisms, bro. Positive coping mechanisms.
just in general,
Yeah.
like there's perspectives you can put it to cope with that sense of you are average, but in the fact that it doesn't matter because we're all unique individuals.
Yeah.
So that makes you feel like you're not special, but you're unique.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
That's a different perspective.
Yeah, you definitely got gifts.
It just makes you easier to be humble. You know.
Yeah.
But you gotta be humble, modest. Modest is like you're just being real. You know, you're like, this is what I can do, and that's it.
Yeah, you just
No
gotta
more,
not
no
let
less.
fucking people get to you. Just
Yeah.
the stupidity and the negative energy of people, you just can't let it get to you.
You just gotta
The
be.
moment it touches you is the moment you've lost.
You gotta know that you're them, dude.
Mhm.
You've been in their shoes.
Okay.
You might not be the idiot right now,
I've been.
but
the
you will
idiot
be the idiot at one point.
at one point.
So
for sure.
so just chill, bro.
So myself. Okay, so when you talk about self, do you identify? Because when they say yourself, think about this yourself. You know, it's like your point of view, basically,
Yes.
your viewpoint. Now, yourself, you view yourself as a lot of things, but you say self has its own mechanism. So it's like the mechanism of yourself is either made up of positive or negative things. So I recently told
It's
you
not
like
or, it's and.
it's both.
It's and.
So
Yeah.
both.
Positive
that
and
makes
negative.
more sense. Yes.
There's no such just. Jesus was around, I guess, but I don't know if he was all positive. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. That one's not much of a fucking saint.
He still got
Allegedly.
crucified.
Yeah.
So there was some negative apparently. But yeah, what were you saying?
Fucking
Positive and negative.
fuck.
The positive negative aspects of the self.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We just recently. I just recently went over how I have a negative internal dialogue most of the time,
Right.
and that stems from upbringing. You know. We'll
Yeah.
just simplify it.
It's
upbringing.
yeah, that's habit.
Yeah,
That's just
and
habit.
that's a
That's like
habit.
subconscious.
A subconscious
but
habit.
But the
Yeah.
fact that you can look at it is crazy.
But it's the voice, and sometimes you don't even control it. It's just you just hear it, but it's
Yeah.
your own voice telling you such and such. You're an idiot.
It's
you
like
know,
your
you
lungs.
can do better.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like your lungs. Like your lungs are just being lungs right now. They're breathing for you. Your diaphragm's doing everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can control it. In the same way, that's with your internal dialogue. Sometimes it goes on its own, and then you can control it.
Is that why you meditate, like internally, to like kind of master that kind of voice, to master over it, like how you talk to yourself? Because Bruce Lee talks about that shit too. He said, "Be careful how you talk to yourself because your body doesn't know the difference. You shouldn't
Yes.
like talk negatively about yourself, even as a joke, because
Yes.
your body can't tell." It's like
That's one way to do it, but a lot of people do it when the way that they detach from their internal dialogue in general.
oh, so they just zip that motherfucker off
They-
instead of trying to change it. They just throw it off completely.
They see it like it's a cloud. Like, oh look, have you seen the Duncan Trussell? There's like a bunch of clips, but he's like, it's just a cloud. Look at it if it was a cloud. They're like,
Oh yeah,
oh, look, it says I'm a piece of shit right now. It's you're a piece of shit.
That's funny.
And then that next thought is like, all of a sudden, oh shit, everybody loves you, in your head, and you know, that's the part of you that thinks everybody loves you. Right after the part that said you're a piece of shit, that's weird.
but they're all just clouds.
It's just internal dialogue. It's just the mind.
I'm like, but they're all just clouds.
It's just the minding. You know.
Yeah, your mind is being a mind.
It's the action of the mind.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
So you can't. Your internal dialogue is not you. That's that detachment that comes with it.
Interesting.
You're not those thoughts.
But I guess in a way I am, no, because the negative internal dialogue is like me, like trying to push myself to live up to my other self. Like, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you're a dumbass, but it's in a sense it's that little voice that kind of eggs you on, you know, to try to strives you to make you do
Right.
better, you know. So like where the negative dialogue is there, but it's in a
Right.
constructive negative way.
It has a
you know,
purpose to
like-
it.
Exactly. So
Allegedly.
damn, so how do you balance? Well, I guess there's balance. You find balance in that. You find peace. You just don't let too much
Yeah.
negative.
Don't take it
talk,
too
yeah.
serious.
That's a huge problem I have, bro. With everything, all the fucking
That's
time.
just funny.
Like, for example, not to go off topic, but we're doing things in our profession, and someone was asking me, "Hey, what does this look like?" And I was naming it what it was, and she was like, "So this is this?" And I was like, "No, this is actually that." And then she looks at me, obviously like blatantly like like labeling it, trying to be funny basically. And I didn't get it because I was like, "No, these are exactly what you need right here." And I didn't get it at the time. And she was looking at me like, "Hey, bro, I'm fucking with you." And I'm just like, bro, exactly. I missed it. Went right past my head, and I was just like, "Bro, I'm fucking tired. Don't fuck with me right now," literally. But I didn't. I just fucking sighed. I was like, "Yeah." Anyway, so yeah, for sure. But I didn't know how to like handle. Like I said, I'm too serious. I don't know how to handle.
You didn't catch it.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't catch that it wasn't that serious.
Exactly.
You were fucking around
It's just I'm too serious in life. So
yeah.
How would you recommend? Not you're a therapist or nothing.
This is session,
but
guys.
before the self.
This is
people,
session. Hold on.
No,
this is
it's not.
We can't talk about this.
But people who have do you struggle with yourself?
Sure.
People have struggles with themselves a lot. What could you recommend?
As in, how to not struggle about struggling? What are you
talking
about?
Like, one, do you have to identify yourself first? Is that the main thing? Just, people struggle with themselves a lot. Could be their version of like what they see as depression. Could be negative.
Yeah, that's what you're talking
about.
Time.
It could be.
You're talking about basically your dialogue inside.
Yeah.
So what like when I tell you don't take it too serious, you're like, what do you mean?
Exactly, because it's completely foreign concept to me, bro. I'm like, everything in life is fucking serious. Take it seriously.
Right.
And don't let shit do you over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Does that stem from trauma, from being fucking fucked over as a youngster, so you're on guard all the time?
I'm sure, yes. That's part of it.
It has to be part of it. That's crazy, bro, because once you do relax, motherfuckers will stab you right in the fucking back. So do you just live a hardened life all the way through and through? Or do you just literally learn to be flexible?
It's that. You had to learn how to be
That's crazy.
Hard in the right way. You
need to be rigid, but you also need to be flexible. That's crazy. And
eventually, that's just who you are at one point. If you just practice it enough.
Top G.
But like in when you're taking yourself serious, like your entire dialogue, you should only take serious things that you can choose.
What do you mean?
Like you didn't choose your internal dialogue to be this way. This is not by choice.
Okay.
Like this is just who you are inside.
It's hardwired, yeah.
This is just the mind being your mind thinks those thoughts.
Yeah.
So you literally have no choice in it. So you can't necessarily. They're not negative nor positive. They're just thoughts. You're giving them the negative, positive aspect. Because you think you have to make a choice, and you don't have to make a choice for that. That is, they are negative and they are positive. It's like a whole thing. Sometimes you have really good thoughts. Sometimes you have really bad thoughts.
Yeah.
But some hit harder than the other. And that's just because you're deciding to do that. In a way.
So master yourself.
Sure.
Figure out who yourself is.
Figure out what you mean when you say the self.
Go fuck yourself. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, because the self is the thing that's making the choices.
Yeah, it's the observer, the fucking thinking machine, the fucking function.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can see a thought. Like, you're so happy about those happy thoughts. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But as soon as those bad thoughts show up, you're so mad about those thoughts.
Man, fuck those thoughts, to be real.
But the fact is, they're all both thoughts.
Yeah. Wait.
They're just thoughts, bro. And you're letting those thoughts dictate the way you're feeling at the moment.
But what about those thoughts that are negative bring you memories of, negativity, remorse?
Enjoy it and learn.
Why?
Because it's just a trip down memory lane, as they say.
Yeah, but you get anxiety from that shit half the time.
Ain't that crazy?
Yes.
That's cool.
It's horrible because that already happened to you. You should learn from it, but it's just like you feel anxiety from it, remembering it from way back then. Your heart starts racing. You're just like, why the fuck? Why do I feel like I'm there already? Like, I already dealt with this.
Did you?
I mean, I guess no. I'm pretty sure I did. Fuck. But
I'm like, because for me, I'm like, if you keep thinking about it, that kind of means that you didn't. doesn't it?
No.
Because why you keep thinking about it?
It's just because something you regret that you can't make right, and that's something that you
Also,
can't.
it's a regret thing.
Yeah, it's a regret thing. It's just something that you just want to fix but can't.
Oh, you can't let it go.
Yeah.
You're that guy.
He
He's
takes
that
it too
guy.
seriously, bro. Like,
He's
take
that
stuff
guy.
too serious. Gotta.
Yeah, because I've talked to you before, and you blame yourself for shit you did when you were 8 years old. And I'm like, how are you doing that, dude?
I'm like, yeah.
How does that work, dude?
Because I remember the
Explain
shit I did.
yourself.
You really want me to? What?
Think about it. How can you blame an 8-year-old for the decisions?
Because I was still old enough to know better, bro.
Do you guys hear
I
this?
was still old enough to know better as an 8-year-old, and I still did some fucked up shit. So I regret it to this day, but at the same time, I've moved past it because I've made enough atonement. I can't say that, but I try to live my life with the purest intentions, and I try to do good as best of my ability every single time. It does cost me either time, effort, energy, or money, but that doesn't fucking matter because, like, I feel like at the end of the day, if you truly, genuinely want to help a person, doesn't matter who the fuck they are, you will make the time and you will make the effort, and that someday will come back to you. You don't need an immediate gratification from that. You just do it just to help you, you know, and that's, for me, that's some fucked up shit to make right with the fucked up shit that I did when I was younger.
That's
Far
just
be
funny.
it from me, you know, let me be me, because what can I do? What let me do more good just to make up for the shitty shit that
That's
I did
not
when I
how
was
it
younger?
works.
It's not how it works, but it makes me
It's
feel
not how it
better, and it
works.
makes me feel like I could be a better person because of the good things that I can do. Goodness spreads more goodness. Good-hearted people often have more good-hearted people at interest and try to spread that shit, but most people are assholes nowadays. So it's hard for a good-hearted person to not be nice but be a good person. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? There's a
right.
difference.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm going on a tangent, but moral of the story is don't fuck with me. No.
Don't fuck with me, boy.
That's funny. Nah. Know thyself. Know thyself, and you shall be free. That's the.
For me, I only blame myself
Yeah.
for decisions that I did actually make with my logical self, like there. Which, let's say, when I was 8, that was not there, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't necessarily making horrible decisions.
What do you mean you were not there, bro?
Because that's not necessarily you. You're not you yet. You're like...
Yeah, but you're an accumulation. You're you in phases, though. Sorry to interrupt, but like, what do
Right.
you mean? Because that thought bewilders me. How are you 8 years old, but still not like there?
Like, for me, it didn't feel like I was there, for example.
What do you mean?
Because for me, it feels like it's not me. It's like...
Why not? Like, why not? Everything is you from as far as the moment you're like aware that you're you.
But you know how
You
you know
know?
what you... Like the decisions that when we were talking just now.
Right.
The decisions that you made.
Yes.
Like, you were there making decisions.
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
No.
Why not?
It wasn't
I'm like, why not?
like that mechanism for decision making for me, that I can think of the situation and an event and tie it to, like, if I do this, I get this out of it.
Right.
That wasn't there, bro.
Really?
Not real.
Whoa.
Not real.
Dude, that was there for me ever since, as far as as close as I can remember, man. Like, that, as far as my earliest memory, I feel like that's what you should remember too, is your earliest memory, because
Well, I do remember memories,
you know what
but
I'm
I don't
saying?
remember the logical decision making process.
Really?
That was going behind those memories.
but you're super fucking smart. Like,
This
how
is-
how does this work?
This is because I'm an adult, bro. as a kid,
That's funny.
as a kid, you know, like
Yeah. What the
that
fuck is
aspect
going on?
isn't there.
My
for me.
aspect was, so
For
what
you.
the fuck makes it so different then?
Exactly. See, there's the there's it has to be some difference.
Interesting.
Maybe you had to make decisions for yourself and had to think about it. You know,
Maybe.
for me, every
Alright.
decision was being made for me.
When did you decide, like, when did you, okay, so what is the difference? Because I remember, like, me actually making decisions and thinking about shit, me being there, hey, I'm here,
Right.
being a kid. And as far as back as the earliest memory is in my fucking yellow Apache house. It was an actual house. And I was putting shit in my bed because my uncle was coming, or family was coming over, and I didn't want to clean my room. So I just literally, I was debating, should I clean my room, or should I just throw my shit on my bed and fucking cover it up, and that's what I did. And then fucking later on, after the party, I went to go to sleep, realized that I jumped on my bed and fucking landed fucking face next to a metal Tonka at the time. And it was, I'm fucking 25, bro. A long time ago, those Tonkas were metal, bro, and they fucking hurt. So landing next to one, that fucking hurt. Anyway. So that's as far back as I can remember. Because I remember thinking about...
the decision you made.
The decision. Do I clean up? Do I not? Do I take a shortcut? Family's coming over. I don't want to fuck with this right now. I'm gonna just throw some shit on the bed and make it look nice, right? And then... But that also leads back to earlier shit that I can remember. I can remember, making decisions from that too later on, like what cereal,
but was
going
it
to
an
kindergarten.
analyzed decision or just like a decision you just happened to make because that was the best decision?
At the time,
because you're still running on impulse.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're still running on impulse, the you that actually can hold yourself back is not there.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
If you're still running on impulse, the you that should usually hold yourself back is not there. That's why as a kid you do dumb shit all the time.
Right. But you still think about shit. You're still thinking. You're and planning.
There's a process, but there's not the process of, am I making the right decision? That's not there.
Okay.
The decision making sure is there.
But you're talking about responsibility then. You're talking aspects of responsibility as far as like life.
Yes, and that's a mechanism I'm talking to you about.
So when the fuck did you experience that? Because I was like, what? A little bit older. Yeah, like, I guess it depends on when you have to start making decisions, what?
That you take responsibility fully for, because that was you, bro. Like, that's... Damn. You're grown. You're, like, there. You did a bad thing and you did it. Yeah. That's when you know.
Right, but see, I don't know if... I'm not an exception, but I grew up from a young age that was permitted in some cases.
Right.
Like, I was taught morality. Don't get me wrong. I knew right from wrong. But in certain settings, survival mode is like, take whatever you can and make sure you got enough for the next day. Right. It sounds horrible, but it's just like, I wasn't starving, but I knew hunger. I wasn't fucking, like, broke, but we had a roof. You know what I'm saying? It's like, there could be worse.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle for sure. And everybody knows the struggle. It's not a competition. Everybody has their own fucking struggle, right?
Struggle, man.
Struggle. But in survival mode, you know that there are certain things that you don't give a fuck about because you're in survival mode. You lie to get what you want to as long as your belly's full. Right. You just take what you fucking want. And,
even as a kid, you do that naturally until you get taught not to do that.
Exactly. But I knew they were wrong when I made those decisions. And I still did them anyway because I knew I was fucking hungry. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So then you didn't have a choice. That's different.
That's exactly. So I don't know if that's...
But that's still part of it. But the you that should have stopped you from doing that wasn't there.
Yes.
When did that appear? When you were like,
when I was out of survival
really
mode.
Not do this
when
shit.
I was out of survival mode. And when the things I was doing wasn't necessary anymore.
Exactly. So that's when you had the time to be like, bro, what the fuck?
So like probably 10 or 11. 11, 12.
So like around middle school.
Yeah. Yeah. No. 5th grade elementary, I want to say.
Going to 6th, actually.
Yeah, right, cool. Because when I moved away from the fucking trailer park was like 5th grade, going in like beginning of 5th grade. And then I remember finishing my other 5th grade year at this school, Ari Tobler, and finished that out. And that's when I moved out of the fucking trailer and into like a better apartment. It was cool. And then it was cool. But like, as far as leaving the setting and that impacting your survival mode, it's fucking true. Your settings change after that. And then I guess it was just interactions afterwards because I went to a school where people would lie all the fucking time versus, why are you lying? Like, obviously you tell the truth to the teacher. Like, that's the teacher. You gotta tell the truth.
You don't tell the truth.
And I'm just
to
like,
teacher,
you don't have to fucking tell the truth, kid. Shut the fuck up.
You don't. You can lie to the teacher.
Exactly. But no, you don't.
Not about murder, obviously.
Obviously, no.
Come on,
don't lie to your fucking teachers. Your teachers are there to teach you, kids. You're there to learn. Anyway. I knew right from wrong at that point, but it was also after survival mode that I was basically is reality checking me for basically saying, hey, we know it kind of knows what you've been through. These kids don't really know that lifestyle because obviously you're going through a different setting. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but that's not allowed here. Like, that's not okay. type shit, you know? Like, you don't have to do that anymore, basically. Nobody told me you don't have to do that anymore. And I wasn't really told that until like a little later. Yes, bad habits had formed during that time, and that carried
was out
over.
of habit still. Yeah. I don't know if we're talking about this aspect of the self that comes by when people are looking at you like you knew exactly what you were doing.
Yes.
Sir. You knew what you were doing.
Yes, you're old enough to know better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When that shows up, and the guilt of it, where you're like,
when you develop a conscience.
I did know, yes. That's literally what I'm talking about. Literally,
when you develop a conscience.
Literally what I'm talking about.
All right, so we have just spent this whole fucking time coming to this fucking simple conclusion. Yes. Developing a conscience. Let's fucking developing a conscience.
Yes. That's what I'm telling you. That wasn't there.
Probably young. Yeah, probably young. Okay, how I developed a conscience.
I'm like,
I stole a lollipop from a 7-Eleven, and my brother was like, "Yo, why would you do that?"
How old were you?
Like 5, 6.
Really?
Yeah, 5, 6.
I probably stole some shit.
I was a youngster, bro. But
shit, if you want to tell stealing shit stories, I have too many.
I'm saying, bro, I did some dumb shit as a kid, bro. I'm saying, so there were times where I got away with it. There was other times I got caught, but my brother was like, you know, because it was a fucking ring pop, bro. I didn't want to ask my mom to buy it because we didn't have enough money as it is for groceries, and my mom always said no. Every time I asked her, because they do that on purpose, bro. They put the candy in front of the aisles.
You want some?
They do that on purpose, exactly. Mom, can I? No. Mom, fuck. So I just fucking took that shit.
Dude, I used to steal stuff all the time, but keep going.
Yeah. Same, right? We've all done it. I'm not fucking, not Mr. Perfect, but.
Not everybody's done it, but.
Okay, not everybody's done it, but a good amount of people have fucking done it. Anyway. Goody fucking two shoes, anyway.
Like, I've stolen so much stuff from this one gas station when I was in Arizona.
For real? Like, over time or just at once?
Oh. I kept going and taking shit.
That's awesome.
And then
that's not awesome. Don't steal. Don't fucking steal.
Eventually, they were like, he's not allowed in here.
Oh, for real? Like that? Oh, damn. See, I never did that.
It is what it
is. It is what it is. Okay, so how did that make you feel? You knew better, but you kept doing dumb shit.
Like, I didn't care.
You know what I'm saying?
I honestly, Sir Fox.
Is that before or after your conscience?
I wasn't there making decisions, dog.
So you can't hold yourself accountable because you didn't have a conscience at that time? Horrible.
It's like...
I'm like, horrible.
But I'm like that already right now, but I don't do bad shit. You know what I'm saying?
Elaborate.
Because even right now, I'm like, I still don't give a fuck for the most part. But I don't do bad shit regardless.
Right.
Like steal.
Okay. I see your point.
In a way, I'm still the same kid, but I'm like, that kid could get away with it.
Yeah.
And
fuck you.
That kid could get away with it, and me as an adult couldn't.
Yeah.
So therefore, you don't do stuff like that, because now they're holding you accountable.
Yeah,
sir.
exactly. Yeah.
You know, and that's the aspect I'm talking to you about.
Okay.
Like, there's a point where you're like, I can't do that shit no more.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
For fucking sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Shit.
So that's
when you stop being a kid, bro. Like when you learn, it's not necessary anymore, and that your actions impact other people, and that's when you learn. Pretty much when your selfish acts harm another,
right?
Someone you really, really love,
right?
And that fucks with your head. You're like, man, I really got to take a look at myself. A logical person would think this, but the logical person would self-reflect, take a look at themselves, be like, yo, I fucked up, need to make this right.
Right. That's the self.
That's what I'm doing right now. So.
That's the self. That's humility.
You know what I'm saying?
Humility in a way.
But I deal with a bunch of idiocy, which needs to combat with meditation and proper Fuck, what was it?
What was it?
Fuck. What was it?
This guy doesn't know how to speak.
Proper, yeah, I know. Coping mechanisms. That's what you're talking about. Positive coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the gym, like journaling, like listening to music, like going on walks, like fucking not isolating yourself in an unhealthy way, but like taking a break from your phone and TV and all that shit.
Alone time.
Yeah, alone. Sure. Alone time. Other people call alone time very different shit, my friend. Very different. So that's funny. All right. So now we're getting back to the topic of self, why we brought you all here. now that we've gone over a little bit about ourselves, ourselves. Yo, that was pretty good. All right, now we're gonna go to the pillars of mental health, the diagram right here. So we talked about how you need to be aware of yourself. If you could help me read, because I can't see shit.
Yeah, we're working with the structure of self here.
Got you.
And we talked about that, and the function of self.
Which we did talk about that too.
And from this too, we get the aspect of empowerment and the aspect of humility.
How do we feel empowered? We recognize the mechanism of ourself being a selfish self, in my case, would harm others, which empowered me to be a better person and not fuck up and fuck with other people in that sense, try to do my best. If it happens unintentionally or without my ill intent. You know,
it's out of your control.
It's out of my control. Yes. If it happens, it happens. Sorry.
You can only change what you can control.
Exactly. I can only control so much. Yeah. If it's within my ability to change it, I will do so. But anyway, that empowers me to be a better person for the most part, which will lead me to agency, which is something that makes me want to be capable in all aspects and being, you know, like making a decisive action for all of those particular things. So hopefully that will be my goal, which is good. This is a healthy self. I feel like getting a step on the right direction from being a consumer-based self versus an actual like self-motivated self, like self-conscious self, you know, conscious of your health, the conscious of the mechanism of yourself. Could be good mechanisms, could be mental or negative internal dialogues like mine, but which is interesting. I was doing so good and then I fucking fell off. Damn it, sorry. Yeah. But anyway.
Well, empowerment mainly, they're talking about your ability to empower yourself, you know? So, like, what that means, really, is...
motivation.
Yes, but, like, how does that come, you know? You have to know you can do shit.
Either trauma or, like I said, empowerment. There's a purpose for that. For me, it's the purpose of something that was bad that I no longer want to do again. That motivates me to not make the same mistake. So going from negative and striving towards the positive, is that mechanism for me, I guess, to answer your question. You know what I'm saying? So how does that work?
So you're talking about how you're empowered, because that comes from an avoidance.
Empowerment?
Yeah, no, your empowerment there is coming from avoidance of a bad event.
Yeah, wanting to feel the same bad event again. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to feel that, or I don't want to make them feel that.
That's not necessarily healthy. Not necessarily healthy.
How is it not healthy?
Because you're in avoidance. You should not be in avoidance.
Avoidance of inflicting pain on others? Yes. I don't think that's not healthy. Why isn't that healthy?
Because why do you have to avoid that? Shouldn't you just not do it?
I mean, well, it's unintentional. You know, you gotta avoid making choices that inflict pain on others. Can I slap you in the face
unintentionally, John?
Of course, fuck off.
No, I can't. No, I can't. If I slapped you, it was pretty intentional.
It started making sense, and then it fucking stopped. Damn it.
If I slapped you, John, this was intentional, sir.
Right.
So if I hurt you, it was semi-intentional.
Of course.
But then you can regret it.
Yes.
Doesn't mean it wasn't intentional, though.
That's not what I mean.
Because you're talking about avoiding.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of avoiding?
Confronting.
Yeah. Is that what you think? Avoidance and confronting.
Yeah. Avoiding versus confrontation. That's literally the exact opposite. Addressing it. Avoiding it, you're addressing it. There. Same A.
That's just interesting.
Avoidance. So my empowerment is derived from
you're
avoiding negative shit again.
Yeah.
What's so bad about that?
It's not necessarily bad, but guess what? It's not necessarily good either. It's kind of like a neutral spot where you're not moving towards the good. You're just making sure you're not moving towards the bad.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
I didn't say it was wrong. I told you there's nothing wrong with it, but it's nothing necessarily...
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's just nothing necessarily good with it, you know?
All right. That's funny. So, where does your empowerment stem from then? Does your empowerment stem from the pursuit of knowledge? Is that where your empowerment leads you? Or, like, where do you get your empowerment from?
Empowerment for me will mean that it comes from understanding. Like, quite literally, if you understand the way you work, you will get empowered because you know how you work, and you know how you would do, like get things done. You know, like for example, if you learn how you learn, and you understand that at first it's hard when you're learning, and then it gets easier because now you have learned. Now you don't see the beginning process as a struggle. It's just part of the learning process. So therefore, I empowered myself by looking at the learning process for what it is, instead of the fact that it's hard at the beginning, and suddenly it gets easier because you have learned what you try to learn. That's empowerment, you know. You know what I'm saying, man?
Kinda.
From understanding.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That works. That works.
Because another example is understanding your body and your health.
Okay.
Now, if you understand what you need to be healthy,
Eat.
you are empowered to get that done, no?
You're empowered to live a healthier life.
Is that not correct?
That
It's
is
correct, right?
Yes.
So therefore, understanding leads to empowerment for me.
Okay. Right. That's pretty simple.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. I'm trying
Bet.
to figure out why the fuck that doesn't make any sense.
Bet.
No, that
But
makes perfect
it's
sense.
empowerment. Yes.
Okay.
That for me is empowerment.
That makes
That's
sense.
why-
In that sense, that makes sense. For sure.
Well, that's what they mean, you know?
But I'm a bit of an idiot, so you gotta bear with me here.
So what do you do in that sense of empowerment that allows you to feel like I can do this? This is the thing. You know what I'm saying? It will more than likely be understanding as well.
It's basically a challenge.
A challenge?
A challenge against myself. Can you do it? Do you think you can do it? I think you can do it.
But
I
what
don't
leads
think
you to
can.
think that you can do it?
That I can?
Yes.
Betting that I can't.
That is empowerment, though. That the fact that you think you can do it is empowering.
No, but like
You're like, let's fucking go.
that's what
bitch,
I'm saying. I
let's
want to
go.
prove you wrong, basically. That's where my empowerment comes from. It can't be done. I kind of want to prove you wrong.
That's funny.
But it depends.
That's funny.
Am I willing to like? If I feel strongly empowered by that, I will go through like great depths to prove you wrong. But
So pride in yourself brings empowerment.
yes.
Got it. You got it.
Yes. It's kind of horrible, isn't it? Jeez.
Well, pride is not necessarily bad.
I mean, if it's used in a good, positive way, hopefully, just got to use things for the best.
Right. If you're a good person with pride, you're just a good person with pride.
Yeah.
If you're a bad person with pride, you're just a bad person with pride. And you're an asshole now.
You're an asshole now.
You know, but
That's
it doesn't
funny.
matter. If you're a good person that has a negative, or not, it's not necessarily a negative trait, is it? A dark trait. There you
Okay.
go. It's not negative, it's dark.
It's dark, yeah.
So there you go. You can be a good person with dark traits,
Yeah.
but you could also be a bad person with dark traits, which is worse.
Well, worse, yeah.
You know, because you're not necessarily doing good things with that.
Yeah.
You're doing bad things.
It's like you're a dope fiend that has ADHD. It's like, yo, that's bad.
right. Or you can be the guy that's like super into computers, figures out the next computer model. Now they make a new computer. Thank you, ADHD. You know, you're good. You know. But stuff like that can happen. If you're a good guy, don't worry about the dark aspects.
Well,
Because those are just part of who you are as a human.
exactly, but I don't understand how sometimes like you don't battle with that shit. It's like sometimes you have to keep that shit in control, but it's not like a raging beast that fucking shuts out. But sometimes it's habits, but nasty habits that reveal themselves, and I like need to correct those habits.
Right.
You know,
Right.
which is why I focus on trying to be a good fucking person, and I try to make up for the shit that I've already done, which is horrible.
I don't try to make up for anything. That's a weird thing.
Why?
I don't have to. What are you talking about? Make up for what? There's no score.
There's
here.
mistakes that have been made.
You're the
that
only
you
one that's
don't-
keeping score. It's in your head.
Yeah, I know.
That's that pride aspect.
That right probably hasn't been wrong, or that wrong probably hasn't been made right yet.
Right.
Doesn't that bother you if something's wrong that isn't made right? That would bother me.
I mean, it depends what it is, you know.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Is it worthy enough to keep you up at night, whether you're a piece of shit or not?
That's a choice. That's a choice
It's pretty
you
bad.
have to make.
bro.
I'll just be like, let it go. Let it go. It's simple.
I need fucking therapy.
It's so easy.
Anyway, pillars of mental health, right? I need some. Show me where these fucking
there's
pillars are
empowerment.
at.
Now there's humility, right?
Oh, okay. So I used to be a very humble person.
Right.
Well, I guess I don't know what stopped.
You
maybe.
guys saw that? He said used to.
Yes, I used to be because I'm aware of the fact that I'm not as humble as I used to be, and that comes from strain. That comes from
Right.
and like how you said earlier, you think you're somebody when you're not. Honestly, I think because of my position in my profession that I think I'm a big fish in a little pond, and that makes me think I'm much bigger than I truly am. And when you get to a point, you get humbled. Life humbles you, and this is a fact. This is a fact.
This is why
Life
you
will
have to
humble
be
you.
humble, yeah.
I got in a fucking car crash, bro. I got some help, but I'm humbled now. I'm walking fucking to and from work. I'm, walking, taking
Humbled.
groceries home. Humbled. So be grateful, and that leads you to what? Gratitude next,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Once you're humble and you know that you could literally have nothing in a heartbeat, and then you feel grateful and gracious for what you do have. Is that's what leads you to it. Is you can't feel true gratitude without being truly humble.
Yes. Yes.
So
that's the thing.
what's getting in the way of your humility? Being a big fish in a small pond, and the lack of patience and the lack of effort to maintain humility. It's a mind state, because sometimes it's horrible if it's an effort to be humble. It's a state of mind. It's like a perception almost.
Right.
You can perceive that you're fucking lucky to have your sight, your hands, and everything. You can be grateful for all of that. But other people, they don't really take the time to be grateful for all of their five senses that they still have.
In general, yes. Yeah.
So
that's why they come up with gratitude practices.
Oh, you should check the camera, see if
I should probably
working.
check the camera.
We're still doing good?
Power mode, 10%. We're almost at an hour.
Okay. Not bad. I had that ninja instincts.
And then we have the gratitude. Gratitude comes after humility, and empowerment goes to agency, which makes sense. Because now, since you're empowered,
yeah, you make quick decisions.
You know what you can do,
and you can make the decision.
You do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Agency, and then that leads to the self being in peace, contentment, and delight.
Don't we all want that? Like, seriously, don't we all want peace, contentment, and delight? Like, I would fucking need some of that in my life.
This is like ultimate chill mode,
Yes.
Like you have reached that level of chill. Can't be taken away, and really,
Just like that.
So those aspects are good.
Try to be grateful.
And then he talks about the generative drive versus the aggressive and pleasure drive. And then there's the aggression drive is just
fighting. I want to fight somebody.
Any type of aggression, like when you yell at people, when you get mad. They were talking about you in the podcast the other day. Like
really?
In this podcast, they were like that guy that drives and just yells at people. I was like, oh my, I know this guy. This is the guy.
Bad habit. Sorry. It's not my fault.
So that's the aggressive drive, and then there's the pleasure drive, which is the ones that leads you for like sex, food.
Yeah.
All the stuff that feels good,
Drugs.
Yeah, and drugs.
Drugs.
And then there's the generative drive is the healthy one that you want to make sure that's good.
The creation-based one,
Yeah,
right?
the one that allows you to feel like you want to do more stuff.
Yeah, like
generative.
Like when we make a video.
And then you're like, podcast. Yes, more. That feeling.
Subscribe. Please.
Generative drive though, okay? And then it says here, if not then... It says the generative drive needs to be greater than the aggressive and the pleasure drive. If not then aggressive drive is too high or too low, and or pleasure drive is too high and too low. Too high leads to envy.
Facts.
So you have a high aggression,
yep.
High pleasure drive, and
but
a
low generation, yeah.
Envy.
You get envious.
And then too low leads to demoralization. Okay. So
demoralization?
Yeah, if it's too low, you feel like you can do nothing. And then if it's too high, it's envious.
You get envious.
On those two, yeah. It says, if envy and or demoralization, go back and explore the structure of the self and functional self. So it's basically giving you a whole diagram. You can download the diagram. You can download the diagram at the Huberman Lab website. So if you want to actually see it, the whole diagram there, they have a bunch of stuff there.
Yeah, go check it out.
Totally recommend it. But they have all this stuff there.
Shout out Huberman Lab.
And this episode is a special series that he's doing with Conti. And then he's probably gonna have like 4 or 5 episodes just about the healthy self, talking about all this stuff. So if you guys want to go watch stuff like this and learn more about it, go to Andrew Huberman's website, Huberman Lab podcast. Get all that stuff.
Do it. Your mind will thank you for it later.
All right. That's basically it.
Yeah,
All
basically it. So
we basically all we talked about was the healthy aspects of the self, ourselves in general, and what we thought about what a self is, and how to look at it and all that stuff. You got anything to say?
Fucking myself needs a lot of work, you know. Self is very interesting to define. I think we came to the conclusion, like, you know, when the fuck did you develop the conscience to know right from wrong? So reflect on that. Maybe you might find an answer. Maybe not. Maybe it might matter. Who knows? But live your best life. Try your best to be have no weight on your conscience. But that shit feels amazing. Like, having a decent amount on it is cool. But, like, you know, there's nothing like the feeling of being totally at peace with yourself. You know, there's nothing wrong with that either. So you can do that, but like this guy, I'm sure he's got no beef with anybody. Not even a wanted list on anyone's radar. Nothing.
That's what he thinks.
That's crazy.
That's what he thinks.
Well, you have no villains, bro. Like I don't think I know anybody who would like who just. I don't like that guy, Alexis. He wears his hat too. Like, I don't know what the fuck, bro. What the fuck? He's a nice guy or cool guy. He's a cool guy, bro. He's a G.
I guess I have to go fight some people, I guess.
Yeah. No, just be a G, bro.
Hey, yo, whoever wants to fight, let's go.
Nah. Don't fuck with
no guns,
us.
no knives. Only fair.
Nah, don't fuck with us, bro.
All right.
We don't need that nonsense.
All right.
But thanks for watching, everybody.
Have a great day. Follow us.
Focus on yourself. That's the last parting message. Focus on yourself.
Try to understand everything that you are, all those mechanisms, so that you can empower yourself to do better because you understand that you can.
And we also need better drivers on the road. So please, like, actually learn your shit. And blinkers are cost free. They come free with your car. Please use them. Like, I don't say that to be condescending. I really please use your signal. It avoids accidents. There's so many accidents we've seen already that could be easily avoided with just signals. And then just be aware. You know, don't drive on your phone. Anyway, have a great day.
Hold on.
Drive safe.
Hold on.
Oh, shit.
Make sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, okay? If you made it this far.
Hopefully.
Subscribe to the channel. We have our Instagrams. You can follow us on Instagram. We have a TikTok, too. Follow us on TikTok.
Shout out.
Hopefully, YouTube doesn't take us down because we said TikTok.
Oh, wow. Will they really do that?
No. With the protection of Christ right now, they won't.
Christ is king.
Christ shall protect us. All right.
All right.
Have a great day.
Have a great day, everybody.
You know.
Thanks for joining us.
Peace out.
We'll see you again.